You may be entitled to compensation.
When someone mentions personal injury law, a flurry of images of billboards and over-the-top commercials may spring to mind for the average consumer. Oftentimes, these advertisements and shallow promises can leave a false impression of the importance of this sector of law. As someone who has worked in the sector for many years, Missy Wigington understands some of those misconceptions, and her own journey of achievement, loss, innovation, and empowerment can pave the ways for other professionals trying to make a difference.
I was just a little girl in a very country town, grew up on a farm. When my grandmother used to take me to the bank, I would see all the bank tellers dressed up. And as a little girl, when I grew up, I used to want to be a banker. We thought lawyers were of a different breed. Nobody in my family had ever gone to college. I always thought that everything was black and white. People were either wrong or they were right. There was no in between. And what I learned in law school is that everything is a shade of gray. And unfortunately, sometimes it depends on how much money you got and what your name is as to how much access you can have to justice. I had a preconceived notion about personal injury law. And frankly, when I got out of law school, wouldn't have been the field of law that I would have picked. I was really sickened of the whole stigma around personal injury. It just seemed like those attorneys that all they were out for was money. And it wasn't until 2013 I got an opportunity to work in a personal injury law firm. But when I got into this personal injury law firm, it was exactly like what I thought. Unfortunately, these cases were kind of like a puppy mill. You know, they were just run through. The owner of the firm never worked a case. He didn't know the clients. When I left that law firm, I honestly thought about going back to banking because by then I was disenfranchised with the whole legal system. I'm so thankful for this one attorney. He's in Texas. And he was a law school professor, and he did personal injury law, but praise God, he did it the right way. And he really taught me that that sector of the law could care for people.
It was one of those things you laughed at when you saw it on TV. I'll fight for you. Everybody fights. Like, why does everybody want to fight so much, you know? And it was like all they're in for is money for themselves, because you'd hear about, well, I got this big settlement, but the attorney got most of my money. But once I got engaged with Missy and was around her and watched her work with clients, I said, it's really not that way. It can be different, and it is different with some lawyers.
When Mama Justice was in just a thought, my boys were 23 and 25 at the time. It was September the 3rd of 2018. I got the worst phone call of my life, and my oldest son had passed. And even though that was the worst time in my life, it's actually given me a life. It's hard to explain, you know, how such a tragedy can be also so eye-opening and give such an avenue for good. My husband said, we need to do it. You know, God laid this on our heart at this point in time, and he did it. He put up one billboard in our hometown in Tupelo, Mississippi, and the phone started ringing. When you're hurt, if it's a car wreck, whatever it is, if you're hurt, who do you want? Everybody wants their mama. Nobody's going to take care of you like your mama. Your mama's got your back no matter what. And so Mama Justice has just been phenomenal. It really fits my heart and our focus, because that's what we're there for. We're there for people in their darkest times.
What Missy does is so important, especially in our part of the country, in Mississippi. And I've traveled the country my entire career, and I've seen, and there's a lot of other places in the country it's the same way. And hopefully, Mama Justice will grow so we can help people in other parts of the country as well. It's important what she does because they don't know what to do. I mean, it's just as simple as, I'm hurt. I had a wreck, or I fell at Walmart and I broke a leg. My femur's broke and I don't have health insurance. I don't know who to call. I don't know what to do. And if you left it up to an insurance company, they're not going to ante up and say, oh, hey, look at me over here. I'll help you all you need. They're not going to do that. So it's important that people like Missy take a personal note in every case they have and make sure that not only that they get a check, But that's not really all they need. That's not what they need. You need someone to take their hand and say, you need to go here. You need to get that leg fixed. Once you get it fixed, you need to get some therapy. You need to get yourself fixed. If you need a therapist, we're going to get a therapist for you to get you back as good as you can get. And then we're going to get you a check as well to make your life easy going forward.
At Mama Justice, we really get to know our clients, and we know that they come from all diverse backgrounds, all education levels, all societies, and every one of them brings certain needs with them, certain questions, and we make it a point to get to know them, get to know each client personally. The close of a client case, I tell my attorneys this, I tell my paralegals this. If we do our job right, it doesn't matter whether that client walks out the door with $2,000 or $200,000. If they know that we've done all that we can do, then they'll be happy. They'll be satisfied. They will know that we had their back. And that's what I want for everybody that walks through the doors at Mama Justice to know, that we won't leave any stone unturned. We're going to look for insurance coverage. We're going to look for medical providers. We're going to look for whatever it takes to get these people back to where they were before this terrible accident happened. If we ever have a doubt in what we need to do in a circumstance, we just fall back on our core values, and that will lead us. It'll never let us down. It'll take us to the right answer every single time.
There's nobody like your mama. To learn more about how we can help or to learn more about our story, visit mamajustice.com today.